It's the best kitchen we've ever done, yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. But then I guess you always say that about the last kitchen you've done, because it's the kind of freshest one, it's the newest one, the ideas are the latest ideas you've had kind of rumbling around your head. So I'm sure I say that about every kitchen, but I mean, I always genuinely feel like that it's the best one we've ever done. This one's exciting because it's got the two islands, because it's quite a dynamic shape, and actually, funnily enough, even when this one was on paper, I knew it was going to be something really interesting and really special. Today's the first time I've had time to really stand back and look at it and kind of spend some time in it, which is nice. So, yeah, we're very, very happy with it. Right, last one in. That's the coffee machine. That looks great. Well, it's always a really nice feeling at this stage, because I've seen various elements of it together before. It's the first time we've seen it together as one kind of cohesive bit. And it's always nice because you draw it, but to actually see it together is a really nice feeling. It's a big house. And what you see here is actually about a third of the kitchen. So there's a lot more to it than this. So a lot of this is the appliance wall, really. So it's the kind of practical area where all the kind of cooking and food preparation and food storage is. Then you've got the oven bank, and there are quite a few. So you've got steam oven, microwave oven, main oven, 2 warming drawers, and a coffee machine. And this big drum unit at the end is the food storage larder.
The drum larder unit has got a 2-metre curved pair of doors meeting. You know, that on its own is pretty difficult to achieve and get the gaps right, get the precision right. When you go to this level of detail, to rush it and fit the door and then have too much of a larger gap is unacceptable for us. We wouldn't turn up, there's a sense of pride, we wouldn't turn up and deliver it if it isn't 100% perfect. We're cabinet makers at the heart of things, but making contemporary furniture. So although everything we make is modern and looks contemporary, the skills that are required to build them are based in traditional cabinet making skills. Everything has to be absolutely engineered perfectly. That goes from a cabinet to a large kitchen. You know, the people you see at the beginning of the project to the people you see at the end of the project, they're the guys that actually make it in the workshop. All of them are traditionally trained furniture and cabinet makers, but they're making contemporary furniture and kitchens and interiors. It's a bit unusual for us. I mean, we normally come in at a bit of a later stage, but this is such a large house that in actual fact, we're pretty much left alone in this whole section. You know, they've done the floor, the painting's done, there's a bit of decorating to do. But, you know, there's 3 floors here and lots of landscaping that's going on, but you wouldn't really notice. It doesn't really affect us, to be honest. In the workshop, they all looked huge, huge lumps that we weren't able to assemble and get a sense of scale on. But as soon as you get them into site, they make much more sense, and they don't feel as big as they did in the workshop. They look absolutely perfect. Well, the brief was to come up with something quite unusual. I think it was about the third or fourth drawing of the islands that the client decided that this was the type of island that he wanted. I haven't seen an island where you have two separated and there's a walkway in between, but it works really well. It means nothing's blocked off. There's going to be a breakfast bar there. Someone can be cooking here while the other person is, preparing the veg. It's actually really such a sociable space. You can have your friends there drinking wine, or they could be helping you cut out the carrots. Okay, that's got him. Is it all right? Okay, check for level.
No, it's a lovely palette of colours and materials, quite simple and quite subtle. I prefer looking at a kitchen when it's used. I always have done. The kitchens that we've enjoyed doing the most are the ones I come back to, and they look like they've just finished cooking, because they have invariably.
Yeah.
And the kind of clients we have tend to be people that cook and enjoy the spaces and use them properly.
It's all considered at the drawing stage from our point of view.
Yeah.
From the design, that's really important.
Yeah, and actually something lovely that the client said to me earlier today is that, she said, it's a lovely space, we love it, it's really beautiful, but actually it's just also a really practical working space.
Yeah.
I love my kitchen. The granite is a bit special. This is it's called Meteorus, which is a Brazilian granite, and it's got these incredible flecks of cherry red. But again, something that has to be used quite carefully. The other thing worth saying is that the islands are kind of split between this island, which is predominantly about cooking. It's very simple. The only thing on it is the hob. The other island on the other side of the alleyway is all about the water services. So the dishwasher's in there, the tap's on there. You've got more prep space on that side. So we called one island the fire island, which is this because of the cooking side, and the other island was the water island. So there's a kind of conceptual thing going on there, which was quite fun as well. I mean, we're pretty clear about the cabinet lighting from a very early stage. We know how that works. So, the cabinet behind us is a prime example of quite, bits of it are quite kind of quite full on, and bits of it are quite subtle. So.
Now, all of these are single pieces of timber with the veneer on that are then glued to a piece of fabric, which you kind of clamp together like that, and then you snap each one individually, so you get this curved effect, so it can travel around a groove to create this thing that's able to open. I mean, they're a really, really good way of storing things, and a really good way of accessing things in cabinets on a curve. It's brilliant. I really like these cabinets as well. These are really simple. This is just a simple box, but with just a beautiful, handle detail. Really, really simple again. And I like being able to see through with all the glasses and having it lit. I think this type of thing creates more interest, and that's what we're good at, picking out details and coming up with things of interest.
Goodbye.